Hey guys, Ritik here. So basically, I'm going to show you how you can save up to 15 hours a week, especially for marketing teams doing e-commerce using Make and Shopify. Essentially, what I'm going to be showing you is how you can automate the entire process of posting content. Any new products or listings that you're going to add to Shopify, we can make it so it automatically posts to your socials as well. And it's going to be a super simple process. So stay tuned. And obviously, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure my best to answer them as I go along. So basically, what we're going to be doing is, or the prerequisites for this is you need to have a Shopify store. So here I'm going to be using an example of a client I've been working with. And this is a car dealership. It's called RoboRide and they deal in repossessed vehicles. So as you can see, there are all these listings of bank repossessed vehicles that are up for sale. And essentially, it's a good way to manage all their listings. Now, this can work for any e-commerce website, depending on whatever niche you're in. Doesn't really matter as long as it's hosted on Shopify and you have a Facebook page and then maybe an Instagram business account to go with it where you want these items to be posted. So this is the Shopify store, and then this is their Facebook page, and this is their Instagram. So make note, they have 34 posts as of now, and the last post on the Facebook page was 22 hours ago. So nothing's there right now. So we'll make it, and I'll show you how the system works in real time. So what you want to do is go to make.com, and assuming you've signed up, it's a free account. You get 1,000 operations, which are more than enough to get you started and even help you continue with your system going forward, like, posting a couple of pieces of content every day automatically. And then you can buy their $10 a month subscription, which is going to get you 10,000 operations a month, which is more than enough to do whatever you want. So what you're going to do is once you log in, you're going to see the screen. You want to go to create a new scenario and immediately is asked you to choose a module. Now, how I like to think about this is essentially you want to go from what you want as a result and work backwards to figure out how you want to build this. So essentially, right, our goal here is to post on Facebook ultimately. But before we do that, we need to figure out if can we actually do that, right? And make all gives us a very easy integration to do that out of the box. So I'm going to search Facebook and Facebook pages. So you can see all these actions that I can get with it. So now we want to do a create a post, but we also want to create a post with photos. So I can see there's a create post with photos. I'm going to click that. And once you click it, assuming this is the first time you're doing this, it's going to have it. So it'll ask you to add a connection. So I've already gone ahead and done that. You can do it basically by adding it and hitting save, and it's going to take you through the flow of adding your Facebook page to Make. So it's a very simple integration you can follow through. And I'm going to choose the page Ropo because that's the one we're working with. Essentially, now it gives me the ability to upload photos and add a message, which is going to be the actual caption of your post. So I'm not going to get into this now, but at least we know now we have that ability to do that. So I'll just hit save for now. And then what we also want to do is get products from Shopify. So I'll do Shopify. And what we wanted to trigger on is every time we upload a new product on Shopify, it should trigger this automation. So I'm going to do watch products. And basically it says triggers when a new product is added. Similar to the Facebook integration, you want to go ahead and add a new Shopify connection and you do Shopify and then go through the whole process there. It's super simple, super easy to understand. And all of these fields you can leave blank. This is if you want to search for a specific product, but in this case, we know, okay, whatever product we post, what you want to do is whatever product we make active essentially and publish it, those are the ones that we want to post on Facebook and Instagram, right? And I'm going to just set the limit to 1, just so we don't start flooding the API with our requests. And you can also choose where it will start from. So I will do since specific date, and I'll go back to 1st February just to give us some time and have some products already in there. So any new product added from 1st Feb onwards will be included in this. And now this is what's called a trigger. So essentially you can take this and place it around. And this is what marks a module in Make as something that will start the automation. So I'm just going to move myself up here and I'll just do this run once to show you what the output looks like. So as you can see, it's running, takes a second. Perfect. So it looks like it ran and this is what we get as output, and this is going to help us in planning out how we want to move things along. So first thing is you have your image, which is the main image. Then you have images, which are all the multiple images associated with the listing. So we have like 10 images for the same listing. Then we have the product ID, which is Shopify dependent. Title is what the title of the image is, and then the body HTML. So we'll use this, but note it's an HTML, so we'll need it to convert it into regular text because Facebook needs normal text, not HTML. And then there are some options that get associated with the listing as well as the variants. We can ignore those because we don't really need information on that, but maybe going forward, you can tune the system up if you only want to do specific variants and things like that, or make multiple posts per variant. So another thing I want to do now is, given this, I want to parse the text because we want to convert that HTML into the actual like regular text. So I'll do text parser and I'll do HTML to text. And then because we have that body HTML, I'm going to do that. And essentially what's that going to do is convert that all that HTML into regular text. And let me disconnect this and run this. And it's going to give you a little error, but that's fine. You can ignore that for now. Now, so look, this was the input, and now we have this, and this is perfect. This is readable, and this is what we want. This is what the client wants to be posted on Facebook. Now, I could just go ahead and connect this, and once it loads, I could select my page. I could do the title. I can do the body that I got from my previous, and I could do something like price. And the price you'll get by going to the variant, and within the variant you'll have the price. Because these are cars, we know the price is going to be same. And usually for, if it's a clothing e-commerce, then you'll have different sizes for the same product, but the pricing will still be the same. So usually this works. And then if I just go back, and we'll see, I think we want to add some additional options, so we can copy paste this, right? And of course it has issues. And looks like it's not happy with the emoji, so we'll just go ahead and add those later. The call, check, and the cache. So I'll just hit save. Now, photos, right? You would assume we can do something like, I want to upload a photo, and then, you can choose photo from here. You could do the file name as, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. We can do the alt text, and then we can do the data source, and I can add the alt text plus caption as well. Hit save and run this. It'll fail, and it fails because invalid parameter. And what this basically means is that Facebook needs its images as the actual data of the images, not the URL. And this is a little bit tricky, right? A lot of people, I think, get caught up in this. So there's a simple solution for this. And what you can do is unlink this. And then what we'll do is add an HTML module, HTTP module, get a file. And what this does is you can just give it simply a URL. So what I'm going to do is take the main image. I'm going to take that source. As you can see, that's the URL. Do that. And then I'm going to link this up again. And here, what I'll do is and then Make is pretty smart. It automatically knows you're using HTTP module. So you can just do this. And then you just need to set a caption, which I'll do for image. And then I'll do alt. And I can hit save. Now, just remember this, last post 22 hours. Okay, so I'll go ahead and run this once. And hopefully this works. Perfect. Looks like everything went through without an error. Everything's done. And if I go back and hit refresh, as you can see, we just posted now with this car. We have the pricing, we have the call us, 1 year Oppo warranty, easy financing options, and then you have all the body that was there, which we transformed from HTML to regular text. This is awesome. This works, and you could use it like this, but I want to go one step further. And what happens, right, if we have multiple images for each vehicle, right? That's a very possible case. Even for other items, right, you'll have multiple images and you want customers to see that. So what I'll do is I'll just leave this as is. I'll go back. And this is where I think it gets even more complex, but just stay with me. It's super simple. So I'm going to unlink both these items. Because right now what we need, right, we have a list of different URLs for each image, and Facebook can't accept that. So we need a way where we can download these multiple files, have that, and then feed that to Facebook pages, because then that will work. So the most simplest solution for that is, and Make has a lot of the stuff inbuilt, is what you want to use is called a iterator. So what an iterator does is basically you give it an array, in this case images, And then for each item in the array, it'll do an function, or essentially it'll do an action. So in this case, my action is to download that file. So I'm going to link it with this. And instead of the URL being this, I'll use the flow control iterator and I'll do the source. So as you can see, right, the diagram kind of explains it. It's like it splits that list into multiple items. And then for each item, we'll invoke this action. And then we want a way to capture these actions as well, right? Because if I connect this, what's end up going to happening is if there are like 5 images for one car, it's going to go to the iterator, then it's going to run this 5 times, and then it's also going to run this 5 times, which we don't want. We only want this to run one time, but with the 5 downloaded image files. So to do that, again, Make has a very simple solution, which I'm going to show you here, is if I unlink this, what we want to do is now aggregate, see the keyword, aggregate all the results. So I'll again go to flow control, and you see we have an aggregator. And what this will do is we'll use HTTP get a file as a source module. And right now you see, right, target structure type is custom. Again, Make super smart. So if you just connect it to this, and if you hit save, and if I just hit again, now you see, right, I hit save, it just took a moment to refresh, but now it automatically knows that the output's going to be fed into Facebook pages. It knows Facebook pages can accept a list of items or images in this matter. So it automatically has that as an option for the target structure type. Just going to go ahead and select those. And it's automatically going to use the options from that to essentially create the downloaded photos array or list. I'm going to hit save, and I'm just going to unlink this and run it to make sure, because sometimes this acts a little bit weird. Okay, now it's still not happy. So what I'll do is hit connect, but what I'll do is add a filter, and this is just so that we don't start posting on Facebook accidentally, and this is a good way to test. And I just have this false condition, right? This is basically true does not exist. This will always be false. So that means it won't go past here, and then I can just run it once, and we'll evaluate what the output of the array aggregator is before we feed it into Facebook pages. So as you can see right now, right, we have this running multiple times. It's going to run as many times as we have the images, and then you have the actual aggregator. So we'll let it run, and we have it 10 times. So if I go here, we have the file name, and then there's some data, right? This is the actual raw image data. And if I just do a sanity check, right, and I open this up, so it looks like both the images are same, which is not quite what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this to map. And then this is where Make can act sometimes weird. So I'll hit custom, then I'll hit photos again for it to refresh. I'll do map. So upload a photo. You have file name, data, and then caption will just be for that particular image, the alt text. And then one more modification I want to do here is, instead of like, we can have certain products with like 10, 20 items or images. We might only want to post 3, just because we also want to be careful about how much data we're using of Makes to, download the files. So what I'll just do here is I'll delete this. I'll go to, not this, I'll go to functions for working with arrays, and I'm going to use slice. And what slice does is takes an array and slices it based on what we want. So if I do, again, images here, and then what I can do is the start. So this is 0 index. So basically the first item in the array is 0. So I'm going to do 0. And then we want it to end at the third item, which is going to be 3, because 0, 1, 2 or 3 items. And then third one, we, keep it there. Obviously, I'm going to do 2. So it's going to give us 2 items, I think. And then that's that. And then let's try running again and see what happens. So it looks like that it ran 2 times, which is what we wanted, but we can increase that to run 3 times as well if you want 3 images. And then we have text for both of them. And then let's look at the array. Okay, so a little bit of troubleshooting, but basically sometimes Make acts funny, but didn't end up changing much. But I just added this bundle order position from flow control to make sure we can track it. So that what this is essentially a number or index of which image we're at. So this one's going to be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and so on. And then we have photos, and we have it mapped. Target structure type is going to be Facebook pages, and then it's HTTP get a file. So this is saved, and then I'm going to remove our pseudo filter. So you just want to go there, set up filter, close this out, save it. And then I'm going to run this, and hopefully now it's going to create a post, but now with 2 photos. And if it's the same 2 photos, we did something wrong. All right, now Facebook is complaining. Let's see what the error is about. Missing file name and missing data. So I'll go in here, and what I'll do is I'll remove all of this, and I'll just map this, and I'll map this to this array. And this should have what we need. The caption data file name. Yep. And I'll run it again. Cool. So it looks like it succeeded. I'm going to go back, and this was our last post. So I'm going to hit refresh, and it looks like it just made the post with the same 2 images, which is not quite what we want. Awesome. So yeah, once you have it set up, essentially there were a couple of things that I have to go back and recheck. And as you can see, I'm building this along with you. But the main thing I changed was, instead of using the HTTP as a source path module for the aggregator, you need to use the iterator. And now you can see there's this gray area highlighting. Basically, this becomes like one module, which is itself only going to run once. But within it, whatever you place, the action is going to run however many times you have the atoms in array. So before we were doing this, and we were having it, so it was running multiple times, right, which is not good. We only want to run this and this once, but whatever's within this little section needs to run twice. So that's kind of what I changed mainly. And then this stays the same. Data will still stay the same. When you map it, it automatically puts this, so you don't need to change it. File will be HTTP get a file, and then caption will be alt dash whatever the number of the bundle order is, like the index. And then this goes into Facebook pages, and then this will be the array aggregators output, which is this array. So if I just do this, it's 6 array. So I'll remove that. And then I went ahead and added these emojis as well, the title and the text. So I'm going to hit this save. And then one more modification I'll do is, instead of 2, I'll do 3. So now 0, 1, and 2 will get 3 images, because 3 is not inclusive. So yeah, this should be good to go. And I'll go back to the Facebook page, and you can see last post was at 10 minutes without the emojis or anything. So now I'm going to go ahead and run this again, and you shall see, hopefully everything works now. So doing this, you can see it ran once, twice, third. This only ran once, which is a good sign. And it's going to take a second for Facebook, and it ran once. I'll go back, and now you can see I have the post that I just made with now 3 images for the same vehicle, instead of 3 different posts, with the emojis, with the price, everything coming through as expected. Awesome. So this was basically it. Now, if you want to take this one step further, what you can do is essentially also integrate Instagram posting, and I'll quickly run through it. By the way, I'll be sharing the template with you. So feel free to take it, modify it as you wish. But just for the sake of this, I'll show you quickly. So essentially what you want to do is I'll unlink this. So this will become our Facebook posting module. And then Instagram is a little bit simpler. So what I'll do is add a router, and what router allows you to do it from one input, you can do multiple actions, similar to iterator, but it's not quite, because this is the same input you feed to multiple actions. This is multiple inputs in one array that you feed to one action. So it's a little bit tricky, but as you practice with it, you'll get to know more about how all of them work. So I'll connect it to this. I don't need that. And then for this, I would also need an iterator here, but I'll do Instagram for business. Cool. And here, because we have multiple images, we'll do a carousel post. There we go. It's already connected to my Insta page here. And then files again, if I do this, you need image type and photo URL. So caption, I'm going to copy paste it from our Facebook page listing and move the title up here. I'll just copy this, save this. We don't want the entire text, this because it's Instagram. Location ID, we can leave blank for now. And if I do this, it'll run, but we still need the images. Awesome. So here's, I just copy pasted this because I had it in another project, but basically it's a similar approach. So you have your iterator, aggregator, and what we need it for is to make all the images in the format which Instagram will accept, because it has a little bit of different format than what Facebook pages need. Essentially, it can use URLs and it automatically download the images on its end, whereas Facebook, we need to give it the actual image data. Just so I can demonstrate, you can see the last post here is 23 hours ago. I'll hit refresh just to make sure. And cool, I'll go back here, and then I've disconnected this because I don't want to post to Facebook pages as well. But essentially, I'm going to hit this run again, and it's doing its thing. Awesome. So it went through. I'll go back, hit refresh, and there we go. We have the other car. Yeah, your price, title, whatever, all the details, and then you can see it's a carousel post. So we have two different images for that same car coming through. So now what I can do is connect this and save it, and you essentially have a pipeline for posting any new products you upload to Shopify automatically to Facebook pages and Instagram. And I've talked to customers, and this is saving them anywhere from 10, 15, 20 hours every week, where they would manually have to take the pictures, manually upload every one of them to Instagram, post them, right? With this, you can make it so it posts every couple hours, every day, so you maintain that consistency, right? And there's so many ways to modify it. You can add LLMs, you can add GPD to make the caption more suited for Instagram. You can add giveaways, you can add stories. Possibilities are endless, but I just wanted to show you this because GTP iterator aggregator is, I think, the main part. And again, same here, which I think is not so visible when you first look at this problem. So the template and everything will be available to download in the description. And then anything you need, please let me know if you have any comments, questions. If I did anything wrong, let me know and I'll be happy to improve. If you have ideas for anything you want to see next, please let me know. Happy to incorporate that as well. Always on the lookout for new and interesting ideas to try out and build. So happy to hear back from you. But yeah, that was it. Thank you.